Hello and welcome back to the Destiny Global Facebook page. We are back with another success tip. And if you are new here or this is your first Wednesday turning into one of these, I want to say welcome. We have one of these free success tips that comes live to you right here on the Destiny Global Facebook page every couple weeks. And so if you have not yet, make sure to while you're watching, let me know if you hear something you're like, yes, that's good, I'm gonna do that. Or if it's something you're already doing, we love to hear from you. In fact, go ahead and drop me a comment and let me know where is it that you are watching from, whether you are live right now, hello, or whether you are watching the replay. Big old welcome to you. And so just a couple quick announcements. We just recently, a couple weeks ago, came out of our last first steps to success of the year of 2023. Our very next first steps is going to be taking place at January 26th, 27th, and 28th. You can get all the information on that event over at destinyglobal.com, firststepstosuccess.com. And that event, coupled with what I'm about to tell you, our success tip for tonight is going to be a recipe for explosive growth. It's going to be a recipe if you combine these things, this tip tonight and that event, OM to the G. And then our advanced leadership training event called Creating a Dynasty, which only takes place once a year, is coming up November 10th, 11th, and 12th in Dallas, Texas, followed by our first ever Destiny Global Gala. And again, all that information, you can find some here on the Facebook page. We will go ahead and link down below the links to both of those events, but it only comes around once a year. And this is where we really take leadership to the next level and so many different skills. But what we're here to talk about today is really how to set yourself up for the absolute best 2024 ever, because 2023 is coming to an end and 2024 is only 74 days away. We have 74 days from today left in this year. And what I'm going to give you is, I think I've got four tips of things you can do starting today to start setting up your best year yet, to start preparing to have your best year yet, because we are knocking on holiday's door. We are coming into holiday season. We're going to have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And what most of the population does during this stretch is they go into the holiday days. They go into holiday hibernation. They go into what they actually start doing is from here up until the holidays, there's different stages, different times where people will do this. But instead of setting goals, instead of making plans to end the year strong, they make plans to start the year strong. And what I'm going to tell you is, in most cases, 99% of cases, the people that are actually going to have their best year in 2024, the ones that are actually going to have their BYIB, they're going to set records, they're going to hit their goals, they're going to take steps closer to their dream life, are the ones that start now. Not the ones that check out, numb out, dumb out, go into the holiday days, and then wake up come January 1st and they're like, whoa, it's a new year, I better get going. No, it's the ones that start now, that build a wave of momentum coming into the holidays, not going into the holiday days, say that 10 times fast, that are really going to set themselves up to have their best year yet. So, most people, again, we have 74 days left in 2023. And most people get off track during these 74 days. They wind up saying things like, when January 1st gets here, then it's like go time. After the holidays, after New Year's, after Christmas, after Thanksgiving, then when the new year gets here, that's what you're going to start hearing out of most people. They're going to start stacking up all their goals, all their things to do, and they slowly start checking out of this year and pushing everything until next year. All right. So 4 things that you can do starting tonight to really set yourself up to have the best year yet. And here's what I will tell you. Those people know it starts in quarter 4. Like it starts now. It doesn't start in quarter one. It starts in quarter four. So number one is reframing your mind. It is resetting your mind. It's getting like, because most of people again have that end of the year mindset of it's the holidays. I can rest. I can eat. I can drink and be merry. And then they wake up January 1st and it's like, wow, I got to hurry up and play catch up. So it's reframing your mind of no, this is the time when I create momentum. This is the time to set the framework for my best year yet. This is the time when I'm going to lay the foundation, where I'm going to load the bases, if you will, to hit the home run, right? And so again, this is when people normally slow down. They set a self-imposed limitation is initiated. A self-imposed limitation called the holidays is spoken into existence. It is like this imaginary thing because there are people that are going to crush it. They're going to have their best quarter in quarter four. And so, and even from Black Friday to Christmas, no matter what your business is, no matter even if you are starting a business, the holidays don't prevent you. In fact, if you're really smart about it, this is when a lot of people have already geared up to spend money, is during the holidays. So if you're taking it easy and you're taking all this time off and you're in the holidays, if you call it, and you're just pushing everything off to the beginning of next year, you're actually missing out on you're setting your competitor up to get all your customers and clients money, because people are still going to be spending money. The question is, are they going to be spending it with you? And hear me, even if you're an employee and you work for another company, imagine how valuable you will be. Imagine what your bosses would say. Imagine who would be in line to get a raise if you were the employee applying these things. All right. So, what are your expectations for these last 74 days? What are your expectations for this quarter? Which days will you be working? Which days will you be taking off? Because when you look at the holidays, sometimes they fall in the middle of the week and things are closed, and most of us are not going to be doing business on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, the day after, right? So it's taking into account, unless you have some kind of online thing, then that's different. But most people are not going to be doing meetings and presentations, and you're not going to be cutting somebody's grass or doing landscaping or any of that during the holidays. So it's taking a look at your calendar. It's being intentional with the days you have. So it's looking at the calendar and saying, okay, and this is something that I already did. What days am I going to be with family? What days am I out of pocket? And what days am I working? And when I see that I have a shrunk down schedule, what it does is it forces me, it allows me to be really intentional with the days that I am working, because I know there's naturally more days that I'm not during this season. All right. So and then it helps us plan our activity, how to use those days, how to really build momentum in the last 74 days. So number one, reframe your brain. This isn't the time to take off. This is the time to get busy. This is the time, like, even if you just tell yourself, no, this is the time when I lay the framework for my best year yet. This is my preparing season. This is when I'm planting the seed. This is when I'm loading the bases. And your words are so very powerful. And when you look at this last quarter as that, man, like, you work totally different. You have intention behind what you're doing. So number two, stay in touch and stay engaged. Because again, it's not just us that are watching this that have the need or that get tempted to fall into the holiday days to check out, to push everything off until January 1st after the new year. And as a leader inside of your business, or inside of the place that you work, listen, all of us can choose to lead or to follow. And so as you choose to lead, and especially if you own your own business, if you are an entrepreneur, if you do have a side hustle, you are the captain of the ship and you dictate where that ship goes. And so if you are checking out, if you are not being intentional by being in touch and staying engaged, if you're like, well, I'll get to it after Thanksgiving, I'll get to it after Christmas, I'll get to it in January, then your customers and your clients and your prospective clients are going to do the very same thing. And so you set the tone. And when you stay purposeful and you stay intentional and you stay engaged with your clients, they're going to also stay engaged. Imagine how much more business you could close from now until December 31st if you stayed intentional, if you stayed engaged, if you kept following up, if you kept asking for referrals, if you, again, just follow the freak up, like on anybody that says yes or no, just follow up. How was your Thanksgiving? How was your Halloween? What did the kids dress up as? What is your favorite dish to make for Thanksgiving? Do you make Christmas cookies? What's your favorite one? Just, ways to follow up and stay in front of them. And most of your competition is not going to be doing this. So you have way less competition than you normally would, because most people are in the holiday days. All right. So by you staying engaged, you're naturally keeping them engaged. All right. And again, it's way easier to stand out right now because most people are going to stick their head in the sand and they're going to wake up somewhere the first week in January and go, whoa, let's get to work. All right. So stay in touch and stay engaged. Stay in touch with any prospective clients, future clients, current clients you're trying to close that are in your pipeline. Stay in touch with contacts that you have. Don't just for the next 74 days. All right. Number 3, set specific goals of what you want to get done in the last quarter, or in this case, in the last 74 days of the year. And the way you're going to set those goals is not what you want to do, not what's easiest to do, not what is the most enjoyable. What is going to make the biggest difference in the life? What's going to get you the closest to the life you want to live? What's going to get you the closest to ultimately accomplishing whatever it is you want to accomplish? And so when it comes, again, default, and I keep having to say this because this is where we naturally go. By the way, none of these things I'm talking about this does not happen by default. It happens by design. It doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. What happens by chance is the other one where I'm going to wait till the new year, after the new year, after the holidays, when January 1st comes around. That is default. By choice, by design is no. I'm going to create a specific plan of what I am going to accomplish these last 74 days of the year. So what is the one thing that if you accomplished this, if you got this done, that it would completely set your next year up to be your best year yet? What is that one thing? And you can make a list of 2 or 3 depending on what they are, but go one at a time. Don't try to do 2 or 3. What is the one thing? Okay. And then once you get that done, if you get that done, what would be the second thing? And then when you get that done, because when your focus is your superpower. So when you focus on something and you give something all of your focus, it gets done so much faster. It's like when you're trying to kick one soccer ball down the field, that one soccer ball is going to get way quicker down the field than if you're trying to kick 3 soccer balls simultaneously, which is what most people do. I got to get all 3 of these balls down the field yesterday. And then the person focusing on the one ball is like, bing, like way more efficient, get way more done. You get way farther faster by focusing on the one thing. All right. So have to be intentional with setting goals for these last 74 days. And again, what is the one thing? The one thing that if I got this done, it would be monumental. It would like totally change my next year if I could get this one thing done. And then if you get it done, then go on to number 2. All right. Number 4, translate that goal into daily actions. So every goal that you have is nothing but a action list. It's nothing but a to-do list. It's nothing but little things that need to get done. And if you do these little things, it's gonna get you here at this goal. You're gonna accomplish the goal, right? When I wanted to lose weight, if I had a list of things, if I did these things, I was gonna lose the weight. I did the things, I lost the weight, right? And so your goal is the same way. So when you look at the goal, the one thing you must accomplish, the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference, what is your to-do list? What are your daily actions that go along with that? And it's making a list of them. And when you make a list of the success activity, when you make a list of the activity you must do to accomplish this goal, then it's assigning dates and times to the activity. When am I going to do this? When am I going to do that? And what you're going to find is that activity, some of the things you are going to love to do. You're going to want to do. Some of it's going to be your favorite things to do. And then there's going to be other things on the list that maybe you don't like to do. Maybe you have some anxiety about some of them. Maybe you fear some of them. Maybe there's some conversations that have to be had that you're like, well, I don't want to do that. Or maybe there's some people you need to call that you're like, that really scares the bejesus out of me. And so here's what I'm going to tell you. This is kind of a pro tip when it comes to this. You do what you fear first. You do what you fear first. So if there's meetings that I'm apprehensive about, or I'm like, oh my gosh, I schedule them first thing on Monday morning. Like I get all the things that I don't want to do, the things, and typically, come on, you know this to be true. Typically, those are the things that make the biggest impact. But I get all those things done like Monday morning right away. So this is a huge step. The what, the when, the where, the why. Get it all done in an action steps, and then get those things scheduled. Get them on the calendar and start your week. Obviously, start your week strong. Get them knocked out so that you're starting the week with momentum, because all of this is about building a wave of momentum. Because if you do these 4 things, what's going to happen over these next 74 days is instead of starting January 1st cold, instead of starting from zero, instead of starting flat, instead of waking up out of the holiday days and having this urgency in you to get going, instead of starting from behind the finish line, you're already running. You're already warmed up. You're already sprinting. You're already going. Your car's already moving. You're not trying to get going from a dead stop, from a cold start. You're already going. Your bases are already loaded. You have already moved the meter, moved the dial, moved the ticker. You've already moved it. You are starting so far ahead of everybody else. You have created a wave of momentum that will carry you into 2024. And think about a surfer, right? When you catch the wave, a surfer paddles out. They look for the wave, and as the wave goes, the wave gets bigger and bigger. It's creating momentum. And then when the surfer finally gets on the wave, the rest is easy. The surfer then rides it, and it looks effortless. It looks beautiful. Rides that wave right on into the shore. And so in the next 74 days, you are, by intention, by choice, creating a wave of momentum that is going to carry you into 2024, that is going to set you up and set you apart to really have your best year yet, to accomplish things that something you have been trying to accomplish and you haven't been able to. This is your year. This is your time, but it starts now. It starts today, not on January 1st, not in the new year, not after the holidays. It starts now. And so thank you so much for watching. Here's what I can tell you. If you're intentional with these last 74 days, man, this really is going to be your best year yet. And you're going to think back to this video. You're going to think back to this moment, and you're going to be like, that made all the difference in the world for me. And so happy Wednesday. Make it a great week on purpose. Have an amazing holiday season. We will be back in 2 weeks with another success tip. We will be live tomorrow right here with Coffee with Ken. We got lots going on. We got lots coming up. And here at Destiny Global, we're doing the very same thing. We're taking our own advice, and we are taking these same steps to create momentum to also set us up for the best 2024 yet, for the best year yet. And that year is going to be 2024. So thank you for watching. We will see you on the flip side. Bye.